For Beatles fans and all music fans, Peter Jackson's new three-part, nearly 8-hour documentary epic on the band's final days is now streaming, and here's a look.
We're talking about 14 songs we hope to get. I've got a feeling.
How many have we already recorded good enough?
No.
None of us has had the idea of what the show's going to be.
I've got a feeling.
I would dig to play on stage, you know. Nobody else wants to do a show.
I think we've got a bit shy.
And joining us now, senior writer at Rolling Stone, Brian Hyatt, to talk about this. Brian, you got to look at this. Tell us what to expect. Tell us what this reveals about the Beatles.
Well, it's kind of just a gift, Thanksgiving gift to Beatles fans, to music fans. It kind of simultaneously shows them at their most human. They're really struggling to come up with stuff. They're working hard. Those magical harmonies, they're actually kind of fighting to get them right. This is right after they released the White Album, and they're a little bit out of inspiration, and they're just trying their best. At the same time, it shows them at their most sort of supernatural. There's a moment when you see Paul, out of nowhere, write the song Get Back. You actually see him write it on camera, and it's just probably one of the most amazing things ever captured in a music documentary.
I think this is so fascinating. So it's 60 hours of unseen film, 150 hours of audio that we have never heard before. And I know it goes into their last ever live performance, which was on this rooftop in London. Yeah. So what does it say about all of that?
Well, basically, you've never seen the Beatles in this much detail. You've never gotten to hang out with them for basically 8 hours. And it would have been inconceivable to even have a documentary of this length really before the age of streaming. And it's just sort of revelatory just to see how they interacted, the shorthand they had with each other, the way that George Harrison looks incredibly hurt while John Lennon and Paul McCartney are vibing with each other and George is left out. The moment when George quits the band, it's just sort of revelation after revelation of just the granular hour-to-hour, day-to-day detail of what it was like to be in the Beatles.
Brian, I want to listen to what Paul McCartney had to say about it.
For me, it's lovely because it brings back to me my mates, my fallen heroes, you know, who aren't here. And so it's great to see them on the film.
It brings it back to him, Brian. I mean, that is fascinating.
Absolutely. For him, I think he was never able to see it quite like that. He was never able to see what it was like to watch the Beatles rehearse because he was always in the middle of it.
And so all of this footage that no one has ever seen before, that Peter Jackson has apparently masterfully put together in this documentary, where has it been for the last several years? Where has it been kind of hiding out?
Well, it's just been in the archives. It's, you know, there was a guy named Michael Lindsay Hogg. He directed a movie called Let It Be that was quite infamous for being a little bit dreary. It also kind of got perceived through the lens of, it was released when the Beatles were known to be breaking up. So it was perceived as the breakup film, even though they actually recorded Abbey Road after Let It Be. But so basically, everything that he didn't put into this movie, Let It Be, was just sitting there for years and years, and Let It Be itself never came out on VHS or DVD, except for a very brief period in the 80s. So this has all been just kind of lost magic for everyone.
Look, there's a lot of stuff in here that I think people have never seen. That, you know, even just to tease it a little bit, how much is John Lennon involved in the songwriting, in what is captured here? It's fascinating to see. Brian, we're certainly very excited about this, and we are very excited that you could tell us a little bit about it. Brian Hyatt, thanks.
Thank you.